Greetings, wizards! Welcome to the Papercraft Wizard channel. My name is Kelly, and I'm so excited you're here. In this video, we'll be creating the belt and buckle closure for our Charmed mini album. We have a piece of decorative paper that is just under 1 inch by 8 inches. A piece of faux suede that measures 1 inch by 8 inches. Another piece of faux suede that measures 1 inch by 4 inches. And then a final piece of suede that is 1/4 inch by 2 inches. I'll also be using a belt buckle, 3 eyelets, and 3 leather rivets. I'm using a corner rounder to round all 4 of the corners of my decorative paper. I'm going to use some ink to ink up the edges of the decorative paper to give it more of a finished look. Now that I have the decorative paper inked up, I'm going to adhere it to our 1 inch by 8 inch piece of faux suede. And I'll use a liquid adhesive to adhere that in place. If you're enjoying this video, please don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. Now that I have the paper adhered to the faux suede, I'm just going to trim the edges of the faux suede right around where those edges of the paper are. We'll do that on both ends. Some materials are thicker than others. My faux suede does fit into my corner punch. However, it does not cut all the way through the material. It does cut enough to leave a line where I can use that as a guide to trim my corners. Now that I have all of those corner marks punched on, I'll take my scissors and trim those off on all 4 corners of our 1 inch by 4 inch piece of faux suede. Next, let's mark our belt where we'll add our holes. I want to make sure I'm placing my marks right in the middle of the horizontal of the belt. And my first mark I'm going to make at 2.5 inches. The next will be at 3.5. The third will be at 4.5. And those are all from the right end. And then from the left end, we'll go in about 1 inch and we'll make a mark there. And that mark will be for our leather rivet to attach our belt strap to our album cover. Next, I'm going to take the 1 inch by 4 inch piece of faux suede. I'm going to fold it in half lengthwise. We'll add one mark coming in 1/2 inch from the open side. And then we'll make a mark 1.5 inches from the open side. And then on the closed end, we're going to make a cutout for our buckle piece to go through. So it needs to be a bit larger. The two first marks we made will be 1/8 inch holes. And then the slot for our buckle, I'm going to use the 3/16 inch hole punch. And I'm going to use that twice right next to each other to make it more of a slot. Now I'm going to use my crocodile to punch those holes. Again, the 2 dots that are kind of floating in the middle there, those are going to be 1/8 inch holes. And then at the end, again, I'm going to use the 3/16 inch hole to create that slot. And there we have it. We've punched 2 holes right next to each other to create that slot. It needs a little bit of a trim to clean it up a bit, and then it's ready to go. For our belt, we'll punch our 3 holes with the 3/16 inch hole punch. And then we'll punch our little hole at the end with 1 1/8 inch. That's how we're going to attach the belt to the cover. I'm adjusting my crocodile here so that I can add the eyelets to the belt. And I'll do this for all 3 eyelets. Next, we'll work on the buckle configuration. I'm going to add the belt buckle into our configuration, just trying to decide which side I like best so that that can be our top side that's showing. I'm going to add some liquid adhesive to one side of the inside of our 1 inch by 4 inch piece. I'll also take our 1/4 inch by 2 inch piece and add some adhesive to the two ends of that. I want to make sure there's plenty of liquid adhesive to hold this all together. I'm going to line up this 1/4 inch piece and make sure there's plenty of room for the belt buckle to go through. I'm going to wrap this 1/4 inch piece around and making sure that those ends are stuck inside between our little sandwich here. We also want to make sure that our belt will be able to fit through our little loop we've created. We'll make sure that's adhered together well. And here we have our belt and buckle. Next, I'm going to take the cover and I'm going to make a mark on the back cover. About 1 inch in from the edge, I'm going to punch our 1/8 inch hole. We'll add some liquid adhesive to our belt. And we'll adhere that in place. And now I'm just trying to line up that belt so that it's nice and straight. Once I have it where I'd like it and the glue is holding it in place, let's open this up, add the other end of the leather rivet. I have this leather rivet press, and when I went to buy it, I thought this was going to be just absolutely amazing, game changer. And it's okay. As you can see, there's not a lot of space in the mouth of the device, so I can only press rivets in a material that's within like 1.5 inches. So if you're going to be making a lot of projects, then maybe it's worth it, where you only need 1.5 inches space. But all in all, I'm still going to use it. I paid for it, but you can get pretty much the same effect with the crocodile. I'm going to use my buckle configuration to mark where my holes need to go. And I'm using the 1/8 inch hole punch to punch those holes. Next, let's add some liquid adhesive to the back of the buckle configuration. Next, we'll adhere that in place and add one of our leather rivets. I'm using my leather rivet press for the first one, but it doesn't reach the second one, so I use my crocodile for the second one. And now our belt and buckle configuration is complete. If you've enjoyed watching this video, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and ring that bell for notifications. Thank you for watching. Happy paper crafting.